Hey everyone, welcome to GrayManPrepping. It's Tactical Tuesday, and we're going to be talking about tactics, gear, and more tonight, all three on this one topic here. And what is the topic? Well, tonight's topic is dun, 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 map your neighborhood and beyond. All right, so I got Courtney with me here from Wide Family Farm, or AKA known as the Corky.
Hey, everybody.
I was hoping that Steve was going to be making it, but I think Steve is doing Little League again tonight.
Oh. So
I don't think, because, hey, a Marine that doesn't know how to do maps and stuff, that'd be unheard of,
Yeah, just a little bit. Hello, Moon.
All right. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, someone else just came in, so let me jump back over here to the chat here and say hi to everybody. Well, the first one in was Gear Grinding 19, and then Alicia came in, and Alicia got her wrench back. For those of you who don't know, Alicia's son was playing with the phone and deleted her channel several weeks back, as though she's starting over fresh.
Oh,
and let's see. Next one in was LG. How you doing? Tibor is in the house. Where to begin homestead? This one is Janice, I believe.
Yes, Janice.
Yeah, Janice. Okay, and then Vitra's here, and Vitra is having problems. If you haven't read in the chat there, she's having no fun at work tonight, and then the fire alarms were going off. Oh boy. All right, then we have Donnie, Prep for Eternity Homestead. And actually, did I give Brother Donnie a wrench yet or not? Crap, I have to look back.
Glenn.
And then we have Courtney started in the chat, followed by Joe at Garden State Gardener. And everyone's talking back and forth. And then Lewis came in. It's the Marshmallow Man. Caitlin Strain is here. I just jumped a bunch on me here. Where'd it go? Moon Over Miami is here. Denise is here. That's Green Granny too. Ginger Ninja is in the house. And Glenn, How to Garden. And I am caught up to the beginning. And okay, hang on here. I got to. I did not make Brother Donnie a moderator. He's now a moderator, and I'm going to go ahead and throw one on Denise because she's been around long enough. I trust her now. I'm slow to trusting people. I work for Homeland Security. My boss used to say, "We are going to follow the KGB's mantra: trust but verify." Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I forgot to give Glenn to,
I was going to say, I made him a moderator, and I felt so bad because he's been in my chat forever, and I just haven't thought about it. And I'm like, the last time I was on Monday or whatever, yesterday, I'm like, Glenn, you're a moderator. Dang it.
Yeah, I know. And Glenn and I, he's on Facebook with me, and he posts the neatest stuff over there on Facebook. And I'm constantly up on his stuff there.
Yeah.
And so I'm slowly adding more moderators. I want when the trolls come in, all they see is a field of blue. And they go, "Oh, crap." And they just back right on out. Oh, Vitra is a he. All right, sorry. Vitra is a he. Sorry. Okay. I must have missed that announcement when it came out.
It's okay.
All righty. So tonight's topic comes from several sources. Steve at Corsair Trainers, Sean at North Shore Preparedness, just lost it, Modern Refugee, and of course, the Boy Scouts of America. All righty, so let's slide over here. I got a couple slides here we're going to talk about. Now, get out a paper map. You can start writing on it, the bridge, mark different things out. Was
Does
that
anybody else like
Mod Day, something or other? And so
do you miss maps like this? I miss maps like this. I don't like GPS.
Yeah. I was a mean man with a map. You know, Thomas Brothers bought a guide map, find a lot of stuff on it. This is the topographical map, and looking at this, you can see where they've written purple lines on it here and other lines on it, and they've added different colored lines. So they got pathways to get out and all sorts of cool things on it, you know. But that's not all. When you have a local map, and this part comes from Sean at North Shore Preparedness. So anybody wants to yell at him and say I'm talking about him. Hey, Heather Knight, how's it going? Sean did about 4 months ago did a video. I can't remember the name of it. Basically, it was about going out and looking around your area to see where the apple orchards are. Where's the spinach being grown? Where is the dairy at? Where's all other food sources at around your area? If you're going down and see this road says, and it says, road ends, a side road that says road ends, 2.4 miles, take a drive down there, see what's down there. And there may be a golden nugget down there. And that's what he was doing. And Chipper66 is in the house.
Hello, Chipper.
And so so his thing is, you see something on here, start mapping stuff that you can use. Not only do you mark on your map stuff that you can use, think about this, folks, food-wise, but think about, the county courtyard is over here, and they got a whole bunch of those solar-powered signboards out, for the flashing lights on. So they got the good lithium-ion batteries in there, or the lithium iron phosphate batteries, and they got solar panels on them now. Mm. Okay, so hey, mark the courtyard. Hey, solar power here. As Uncle Al would say, there's a golf course over here with a whole bunch of deep cycle 6-volt batteries. So if everything goes, some places to go to get stuff. So you start marking everything you can. Where is the tire repair store? Where is a tractor, or rather when I say tractor, I don't mean farm tractor. I mean Caterpillar, John Deere, Case, the big tractors. Where are their parts stores at? Because I guarantee you both John Deere and Cat, and probably the others, have the nice, big, huge D8 and D4 batteries. The D8 battery, when it's full, weighs over 100 pounds. And so, mark where these things are. That's locally, that if the balloon goes up and everybody goes running for the hills, you know where you can go get some supplies. Because I know a lot of, the other neat thing about the John Deere Cat store, the batteries are shipped empty, dry, or are called dry. And they got boxes about this big of electrolyte to pour into the batteries to make them good to go. All right, now next slide here. What do we got here? So, and you can mark out areas, specific areas like this is the no-go area because it's been contaminated. I don't want to go there. And you mark out, he's marked it highlighted here in yellow, and he said some other colors in here. So mark out things, paths and stuff, hiking trails, bike trails, horse trails, stuff that most people aren't going to be taking if they need to get out of town for something or other. Oh, and the second fire truck arrives. Oh, man, you have my sympathy. And so, there's all sorts of different type maps you get. This is a county plot map. Shows all the plots, the size of lands and stuff and everything else on it. Mm-hmm. Previous one was a topographical map with all the lines in it. So you can see, all right, right over here up near the top there, that's getting kind of steep. The lines are close together. That's, this is a little canyon up here. I don't want to go up in that canyon. So you can check things out and look around for things. And don't forget your compass. Let me say that again. Don't forget your compasses. Plural, more than one. Because pros, one is none, two is one. if you have a compass and you toss it in your backpack and you go toss in a light like this one that has a magnet on the bottom, could screw up your compass. So, and keep your compasses in different locations. But and learn how to use a compass. That said, there is a site called the U.S. Scouting Service Project. Say it again, U.S. Scouting Service Project. Mm-hmm. You can go there and they have all the merit badges listed, all what's called the workbooks, which is the you print off the blank thing, you fill in all the information. The boys fill in all the information. And you had the pamphlet is what is called, is where all the information is. They got to look in and do. It has instructions how to do for each merit badge. The Orienteering Merit Badge. Everyone here should try to get the Orienteering Merit Badge. Now on Google Docs, you can probably download a PDF version of it for free and then print it off yourself. Mm-hmm. Oh, Brenda's in the house. Duncan 1900 Homestead. Woo!
Yeah, Brenda.
And Fat Man Prepper's here. And when it comes to compasses and the topographical maps, back before I got married, my one of my good friends, Gary Teixeira, who was a mechanic at where I worked at Mountain Cascade, and John Bredehoff, the son of one of the owners, we'd go hunting together. But we'd have the place called Packer's Saddle up above Sierra City in Northern California, and we would take topographical USGS topographical quadrant maps, and we go up there because hey, they do a lot of logging up there. And what happens up there with the loggers? They make new roads, temporary roads, but they make new roads. So we go up there about a month before hunting season and start marking all the new roads on the maps. And we mark, the year that we marked that road on the map next to that new road, in case next year they were done and they restored it back to normal. But, and so we would find out where we could go and easiest way to get to the points we wanted to be that nobody else knew about because nobody else had taken the time to mark their maps. And so that's one of the things we did. We all made sure we had our own copies of it to go hunting. And you can get, we got the Thomas Brothers guidebook, which is the same thing that's behind Courtney and I here and on the side here. The Thomas Brother maps, I absolutely love them because they get more detail. It's not like one of those big, you got to unfold this huge monster map. Yeah. It's a little one. Okay, I go over to this. Oh, continue on this page. Okay, there we go. And you can mark stuff to get out of town. Now, for some people, they use these for their bug out maps to get out of there and get to another location. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well as just for OPSEC in marking your maps anyways. Did anybody else slide in here? No. Okay, so let me go to the next one here. Oh, do you see something special about this map? It's got plastic over it.
I was going to say it's water resistant.
Well, this could be this could be done one of two ways. One way you get some clear contact shelf paper, the clear stuff, and you just smooth it out right on top of it, and you overlap the edges by about ½ inch or so, and make sure it sticks on, and you turn it over and do the same thing on the back side, and that way it sticks and seals it in watertight. Or you get some heavy, I don't want to say heavy duty, but comparatively speaking, some semi-stiff plastic, and you take a paper punch and you punch a couple holes in it to line up with certain key points on the page.
What really goes good too is those clear books that have like the front page, or you can get projector pages,
right?
And then
yeah,
you use a Sharpie to map your things out so it doesn't, if it does get wet, it's not going to smudge or anything like that.
Well, what that works good for the ones that you're going to seal. But this, you have a two-parter. So the page you put on there, you line it up, You take some clothespins and you hold it to the page. Oops, I froze. And then you mark routes and what things are, and it takes points of interest. And then you unclose pick it, and you take it and you put it away. Someone finds your map book, doesn't do them. They don't have any information. They find that piece of plastic. What the heck's this? They have no idea, and they don't know what page it goes to. And so you pull out your map book, you pull out your plastic sheet, you put it on it. Okay, this is the route we're taking. We're going to go along here, follow down here, go around this way here, up here, and these are our turn points, or in orienteering they call it waypoints. These are our waypoints to get around to however we're going to get.
FYI, I would totally forget which went where. And then I'd have that plastic thing on top of the wrong map and be like, wait a minute.
Well, see, that's why I say you punch, puts a couple of hole punches in it, like 4 hole punches, a little bit different on each one. And when you put it on there, you draw a circle through on the map below. Yeah. So that way your plastic lines up to those circles. You got the right page.
I know, but I'm an airhead, so.
Yeah, see, and military surplus is a good place to get stuff too. But if some people out there that they want to be super secretive about where they're going, and for their group when if they have a MAC or a MAG or whatever, a survival group, and they're going to want to get to their place, they don't want to share that information where someone could lose it easily. And if someone does lose one part of it, it's not going to give everything away. Hey, Grace Hill Granny, how's it going? Yeah, Mac and Patty are absolutely fabulous, aren't they? So you can mark your map out with all the different cool things on it, where things are, and we'll cover more of the things you may find out on it there. Several places when I was checking on this, recommend this for marking your maps, this particular brand. So, because I guess it doesn't bleed all the way through the other side, and it marks it good. So, so I just want to mark, pick up something that you test it out, make sure it works good before you start marking all your maps up. All right. Now, I don't have it here. I don't have, or do I have it out there? I may have it out. I may have it out in the one of the cargo containers. Back when I started writing books, one of the books, I took a map only. It was sort of like this, only showed just about every major city in the United States on it. And I started marking on it. I put it on a sheet of plywood, hung it up on the wall. And that way I had these little dots that you peel off. They come out on a roll. You peel off a little dot, you stick one here, stick one there, and I'd mark what had different colors for different events going on for the novel. And so I had everything marked up all over, up in the north country and down in the south and everywhere else, all the things that were going on for it. Well, this can also work for if you are you can mark some areas generally, or you can mark it specifically. And what some people like to do is, like, say they have a retreat up here in Wyoming, they'll put a dot in one spot, a dot in another spot, a dot in another spot, and and so you have to use a protractor, and where all three line up, that's their retreat. That's where they're going. And someone just sees 3 dots. I wonder where they're going to, because these dots can be 100 miles apart. And so that was what some people do, is they mark things like that. And then we get back to the other maps, like the Thomas Brother maps or any of the other book type maps. You can mark specific things on there, certain things. Green for food, red for firefighting stuff, things you want to gather for that. Blue for you can get water supplies. You can mark you however you want on your color code. Yes, don't forget your secret decoder ring out of the Cracker Jack box. Some of those were pretty intense. All right, so so you can have a wall map to mark, and that did the whole country. It can be your state, It can be your county, your surrounding counties. If you got like here, I'd have one for Bingham County. I would have one for Bonneville County, and I'd have one for just lost it, the county south of us here, where Pocatello's at. Banning County. Mm. So yeah, you have a lot of B counties here in Idaho. And so you could, so that way I could mark if I needed to where supplies were in each one. Just try and keep catching it. Oh, drink more Ovaltine. Oh, Junior says, use your X-ray glasses. All right, next one here. The other thing too, you can also use push pins to mark stuff. And you can get color-coded push pins just like anything else. And besides push pins, Walmart has this nice little box of 100 flags. Color-coded for you. This one's here, that one's there. And that way you have something on the wall, and every time you discover something, you mark it on there, and everybody can update their maps off the master map on the wall. Especially if you're in a survival group, whatever. They can have, they meet somewhere and they have that up, and everybody can check it and make sure they have all up to date on stuff, for salvage operations later on. Either that, or you look like a stalker, or you look like Jessica Fletcher in Murder, She Wrote. Now, I wonder how many people out there remember Murder, She Wrote, the TV show, with Mrs. Potts, Jessica Fletcher. And if you want to go back, she was in the Danny Kaye movie, after was it The Black Fox, when she was a young hottie. Okay. Now, here's something. You can do mapping on the internet. You can save maps from Google Maps or some of the other ones, where you can map stuff out and save maps and set stuff up like that, with different waypoints and different things around. Oh, speaking of orienteering, there are a lot of hiking clubs, national parks, state parks, regional parks that have orienteering courses on their property. And this is a place where you can go to practice your compass work and map work. And so you start out here at the starting waypoint, and you track yourself to number 1, number 2, blah, 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 all the way around to the different ones and back again. And plus, they also, for the parks and stuff, they also give, and these maps are usually free. They also give you, they're also done with the, you can see the lines at the bottom down here. They're topographical as well. So you get free topographical maps of things in your area. Hey, Barry, how's it going? And so here's a real good topographical map. Got all the different lines, and it's marked elevation. So this is 130 feet right here. And the line in between that's not marked is 120, because the next one's marked 110. And the heavy one is 100. So the heavier ones are usually on the 100-foot marks. And then you got, it looks like sometimes you'll have different pathways. Will be either county lines, or sometimes they'll be dry riverbeds, because the rivers will usually be marked in blue on there, but they'll have dry riverbeds. Up here you can see where you got your highways that have big orange lines and stuff. So yeah. And then you got each of your quadrants here are marked as well. You have 52, 53, 54. So ways to find stuff around. Glenn has a point. I have. Yeah. And Glenn's done some walkabouts, and other people have done walkabouts, on the back trails and stuff. And Ginger has a trail marking kit. Yes. All right, is that the last one I got here? That's the last one. Now, Let me drop back down here. I didn't want to show it because I haven't tested it out and I haven't given a good review of it. But there are several programs out there that you can load up on your tablets, and they are, as long as your tablet can link to the internet or have satellite link capability on. Stupid thing froze on me. You can link to satellites, and they have maps. They project, photographic maps, I think, so you can follow highways and everything else from your tablet, and you can get update stuff. And basically, on a topographical map, shows you only so much. Whereas these things will show you, oh, yeah, there's a gully down here. Oh, wait a minute, there's a spring there, and that's surrounded by trees of fresh water. So that's where we want to camp. So there are some programs out there. Some of them cost a pretty penny, but it depends whether you do a lot of hiking or camping, or whether you really want to be prepared to be able to get around if the balloon goes up. Let's see. Oh, we're only halfway through the time. How many people in the side chat here? All right, side chat, time to fess up. How many people were in the military and learned how to read a map in the military? Put a number 1 if you were in the military and learned how to read a map in the military. If you were not in the military, but you were in the Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, and you learned orienteering in either the Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, put a number 2. And the chat's not moved. Okay, wait, that's slowing the one over here. So I got Courtney was both in the military and the Girl Scouts. She put a 3 down.
No, I'm option number 3. I wasn't in the military and I wasn't in Girl Scouts, but I know how to read a map.
All right, so
you're number 3 too. Where to begin? Okay, you're number 3.
And so's Kaylin. Kaylin just put 9. She said she's way out of there. Because I know Kaylin can read bus route maps. Plus 2 years of hands-on seeing America. Yeah. Two, but also learned in middle school for Barry. Yeah. So, I mean, and if you've never had a course, the courses aren't that hard, because in Scouts, we teach orienteering to 10, 11, 12-year-old boys. And they got to, they have to do certain things to get their orienteering merit badge. Okay. So, and they also teach you how to tell distances, from spotting something off in the distance and using your equipment stuff to find out how far that off is by the elevation and knowing how high you are and how high the top peak of that is, so there's a lot of things in the orienteering class they teach you. Plus, they also teach you how to tell the time. Because sometimes knowing what time it is, you can also make a stick compass by knowing what time it is. Because the magnetic field is moving, and every year the declination, the difference of where magnetic north is changing, and it's getting worse. It's changing faster every year as we go along here lately.
Yeah, I would like to learn how to read like the moon and stars, and then go by the North Star, and I'd like to learn that kind of stuff.
Oh, there's a man. Open Notion navigation with map, compass, watch, and sextant. And actually, Dave from Southern Ohio Prepping also he showed us his sextant on one of the live streams. So and now for a little bit of trivial information. The Big Dipper, the end of the Dipper is the North Star, Polaris. It's also called the Plow. And the North Star is also called the the weeping of souls. And we're going back a couple thousand years to ancient Babylon, and that's what they used to call stuff back then.
I have this really awesome thing on my phone, and it's called Constellation. And I don't know if you can see it, but it shows you
what's above. Big.
It shows you what's above me and where I'm at and stuff. I love this. Shows you where the horizon is and all of that. So I use that a lot when I'm outside, just looking up, you know, because I'm curious.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cosmic would be a great one to have in here right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has telescopes and everything else, and takes good pictures of the sky.
It is a really cool app, and I've used it a while back. I think it was Jupiter, Saturn were like really, really easy to see. I like went down the road, and there's like a huge like open field. I mean, it's like 50 acres or more. So like I went down the road and like was walking around like and used this. Like you could just see everything. It was just so fascinating. I could see the stars. It was super cool. It was super cool.
So Where to Be in Homestead wants to know, what is the name of that app?
It's called, now there's, of course, just like with every app, there's a version you can pay for, and then you can get the free version. This is just called Constellation.
Okay. So Constellation is the name of the app?
Yep.
Oh, Barry has one called Skyview.
It's just super cool. I find this really interesting. And yeah, so I like it. And as I go around the room, it'll tell you what's above me.
Yeah.
Super cool.
And Tibor's out there showing off his military intelligence. You can travel by Orion in the winter months, plus
okay. I literally just saw Orion. Like, where is it at now? I know I can't find it, but I literally just saw it as I was like going through this.
Yeah.
There it is. Orion is literally like up there. It's so cool.
Oh, no military. Okay.
And then there's
Mars. Just showing his normal common sense that most people don't have.
And there's Mars. Mars is literally like to the side of Orion. It's like there, and you can. I don't know where you can see Mars, but
if it's dark now, you should be able to see it.
Should be able to. Okay, I didn't know if it was one of those planets that only show up every once in a while, or
Mercury is the one that's hard to see because it's so tiny and so close to the sun. Because you usually have the sun, catching only in the early morning or early evening.
Yeah, and like here would be, see, I don't know if you can see this, that green section there, that's where the Milky Way is. It shows you where the Milky Way is. Super cool. I don't know. I can't move it because if I did, it would move it on my phone. But that's, here is where the Milky Way would be. It's just fascinating to me. So I like it.
And hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
And so, dang, I forgot to, okay. Yeah, so I was going to send Bob the link and I forgot because Bob was in the Air Force.
Yeah, it is often blocked by Venus, and like Venus is also really bright too. So you can probably easily get them all confused if you don't know what you're looking for. So.
All right, I just got it off to Bob. If you want to come up here and talk any experience you learned about navigation, map reading stuff, I just emailed you the link. Oh, he's eating. So yeah, there. there are a lot of different apps out there. Now,
Yeah.
some of them you can you make your connection, like some of the ones I was talking about for the tablets. You make your connection, you download the stuff, and it's downloaded onto here, even if the internet goes down. So
I'm putting the link for that in the chat, you guys, but I can't guarantee because I have an Apple, so I don't know if it would be the same. Yeah, see, it's not the same because mine's on Apple. But if you can click on that, if you have an Apple, you can get that app.
Yeah. And of course, there's you always check the Google App Store or Amazon's App Store to find stuff as well. So, okay, so Barry said Skyview Lite is the app for is the App Store for both Android and Apple. Oh, Brother Donnie's going to saying goodnight. So see you later, Donnie. Cool where to be.
That is really cool.
The yeah, so I mean, if you're looking for some sort of app to have for in case you're out stuck in the middle of nowhere, power goes out. I'm not sure how long the phone app will work. Hopefully it'll work until your battery's dead. If you can recharge your battery during the daytime with a little solar charger or whatever, perfect. But some of the other ones, like I said, if you can, some of the more expensive ones have all sorts of bells and whistles on them, and they do all sorts of cool things. And they, the one will actually give you travel time for walking, the average person walking, and also give travel time for the average horse walking. So, nice. Yeah, so there's a lot of the cowboys are now carrying tablets out there riding the range there looking for cows and stuff because they can bring up a real zoomed up real-time photograph and go, oh, there's 4 of the cows over that ridge there, let's go get them.
These apps make me dizzy. I'd rather just look up. Yes, but I use it. I don't really just look up. Like I don't like go like this with my phone because if I did that, yes, I'd get sick. So I look at it and then I try to look up so I can kind of figure out, what I'm looking at. It is really hard. Like, I can go out there, but you're right. Like there's light pollution and everything else. You don't really know what you're looking at and stuff like that. I've always wanted to take a trip to the Mojave and like look at the stars and do that, but I never have. But yeah, the app does make me a little dizzy because it's like all over the place. But yeah.
Courtney, all you need to do is head west on Interstate 80, and once you get to Kansas, certain areas in Kansas, is it Kansas it goes through? Once you hit the western plain states and you get between cities, it's like, oh, there's no street lights, there's nothing. Wow.
Yeah.
There's a billion stars up there.
I would love to see that. Like, we don't get that here. I mean, I think I live pretty far out into the country, but on the grand scheme of things, no, I don't. So, like, you know what I mean? But I would love to see. I think it would be cool.
Yeah. All right. So, all right, side chat, time to put on your thinking caps and get typing here. What things do you think that you need to do? You would need to put on a paper map of the area around you. What things would you look for to put on there? Give everybody about 15, 20 seconds to think. Oh, gee, what would I look for around here? What is there to look for? Gee, I haven't gone out and looked. And that's one of the things that Steve, of course, our trainers, when he moved in his new house, he went out walking every day and of a notebook and start writing down stuff, just to get situational awareness of what is in his neighborhood, what's around him. Okay, so we got a trail, bodies of water. Okay, while you're looking at bodies of water, think about this. Is there any industrial facility near those bodies of water that might be polluting it?
Yeah. And if I lived in the city, I totally wouldn't be looking for any bodies of water anywhere.
I might be looking for a water tower tank.
Yeah, something like that.
Up on top of the hill.
The open. Yeah. And like, I know during the city near us, they have what do they call it? PG plant and P&G or whatever. And yeah, I definitely would not be drinking water out of that anywhere.
Okay. Good point there. All right. I want to see if I can get this up here real quick. Who all knows what a Silcock key is?
I have no idea.
You probably do know, but Silcock keys.
Oh, yeah, I do know what those are.
Yeah, well, for the on the side of the building where they got a hose bib, but they take the they usually have different sizes, square heads on them. Sometimes now they're going with the like the Torx head, socket things on them, so you could because more and more people are getting these, and they don't want them to have access to the water. But yeah, so
I had no idea that's what that was called, though.
Yeah.
So.
Mark water towers. Mark where the gangbangers are known to be. Exactly. If you are in Oakland, California, do not go down on East 14th, aka International Boulevard, unless you're in an MRAP at doing high speed.
In some places, you might just want to avoid like any place that has, a bike trail or anything like that. It could be like highly dangerous because that's where everybody's going to be.
Kaylin, before you upgrade your keys as you're out walking around, checking things out and everything else, just take a look to see if they have the square type, the 6-sided type, or the one with the the Torx type edges on it.
Hey, P2E.
There's Bob. Storm says gas pipes lines run half the length of the railroad. Problem is sometimes there are multiple types of gas or fuel lines there. In California, in Northern California, they had running down where the railroad tracks used to be. They pulled out a section that was going north and south through Contra Costa County. They abandoned that railroad line. But a lot of there are water lines running down that. Now I'm talking water lines that are like 6-foot diameter water lines. There were natural gas pipes running down one side of it. The scariest part was Kinder Morgan ran a bunch of their oil pipes down there. Kinder Morgan has a very bad reputation of not keeping up maintenance on their pipes. What these pipes did, they ran from the refineries to the airports, to Oakland International Airport, to San Jose International Airport, to San Francisco International Airport, out to Modesto, Sacramento, and then all the Air Force bases out there, Travis Air Force Base, and all the other ones. And these things don't carry your normal what's the word? Gas type gas. Mm-hmm. It's liquid stuff, and it is some hot, nasty stuff.
Yeah, I don't need. Well, no, you don't need a Silcox to work your well. In fact, though, you might want to consider a hand pump or something, along those lines, because if you don't have any power, then you have no way to get your water. But really, your well is probably the best thing for you, especially if you aren't bugging out.
Yeah. And we got Prepping to Endurance here, as well as Let's Try Gardening have joined us here. One of the things, scroll up, Gil, LOL. Gotcha. Right. One of the things that that I would mark on is where are the rental companies at? For rental equipment, because they always have equipment there. Backhoe, mini track loaders, skid steers, stuff like that. They also have fuel tanks there too for that equipment. Where is the propane companies at? Where are their lockboxing? Where you go in, you can, like at Home Depot, you bring in the exchange, and you go out and you swap the stuff out. So where Walmart, stuff like that, have those type of things. And I froze. Let's see some of the other things. But that's a good point here. Hospitals, medical facilities, urgent care, pharmacies, stuff like that.
It all depends on, which SHTF situation you're in. I mean, if there is a giant breakout of something and we're all, stuck, whatever, that's probably one place that you want to stay the heck away from.
Senior citizens care homes have got medical facilities inside of it and nurses and
the good ones.
Now they've got to have first aid stuff there always.
So there's a lot of things to mark on your map. What's around? Oh, where's the sheriff's main office? Where are the substations at? Mm-hmm. Where speaking of substations, the power grid.
I also know where their National Guard armory is at.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly where that is.
Mm-hmm. I know where mine's at. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have some equipment there, a little bit of heavy equipment and some Humvees and trucks.
Yeah,
and stuff
ours
like that.
have like Humvees and helicopters and everything out front, just like right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's a black helicopter.
Oh, that's mine. Sorry, I meant to move that.
I'm like, every time I say that, I'm sure everybody's like, oh, yeah, it's a black one.
In other words, it's for night operations.
Even the OD green ones are hard to see. OD green blends in pretty quick on almost anything.
Yeah. A really big pig farm. Well, I know there's a dairy. I don't have to mark it. I just need to go outside and sniff, and I know where the dairy is, and I know where the Idaho Supreme mashed potato plant is. I just following my nose.
Pretty much in all these situations or whatever, just use your smarts because, like I said, if it's a true SHTF situation, like, say for instance, it's a pandemic, and stay away from the freaking hospitals. Stay away from those areas.
Some of the hospitals were just, they were telling people, unless you're life-threatening, don't come down here.
Right.
So,
I would so die because I can't eat corn. There's all this. That's like, how you said there's water, but nothing to drink. Mine would be corn, but nothing to eat.
Oh, Lord. Mm-hmm. I also know where there's some chicken ranches within walking distance. Yeah. Hey, you got a chicken in a basket, all you want, But you got to get past the farmer too.
Oh, and not just that. It's all right. Going back to the railroads, the grain silos, where is stuff like that stored at? Because if everything breaks down, those silos could be full. And most people aren't going to know what they are or what to do with it if they, how to get into it. So that's something that you make sure you know how to do.
Yeah, for me and mine, we have a rally point that is, you go one direction and there's the port of Tacoma, Seattle, the whole Puget Sound, Navy and coasties, and then go north. Then there's SeaTac Airport.
Yeah.
You know, we got a rally point and we can go either direction from there. Plus, we got 5 Filipino families within walking distance. You know, but I mean, really, honestly, we already went through some stuff 2 years ago, and didn't have to bug out or anything. We just stayed right here, and that's most of the time. That's really the best thing you can do. Just stay at home. You know, get off the road, stay at home.
And that's the thing too. Like, you know, if it's, you know, all right, the zombie apocalypse, stay at home, wait for it to sweep over the area, wait for them to kill each other off. Then you go, all right, now we need to go out and get these supplies here. So you know where you're going, and you spend the minimum amount of time out looking. You go out and get stuff until you have it. Oh, that reminds me. Car dealerships.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Tools are all there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not only tools.
Fuel too.
Fuel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
New vehicles. Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to need we're going to need a couple crew cab F550s. So we're heading over to Broadway Ford.
Yeah, Grace. A lot of people think that farmers are easy targets. You have to think twice about that one, because I would assume that farmers are the biggest preppers out there. Like,
natural born preppers.
Yeah, you don't think that they're not going to protect their area, their animals, and
they already got a whole bunch of hidey holes out there on their farm.
Do that. They already do that.
You bet they do. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the, you know, fermented grain can be toxic. Plus rats don't help things either. If the grain's got moisture and it's in there too long, hey, you can always use it for making silage for feeding the cows, the chickens, the pigs, especially the pigs. It can be fermenting, and it could be toxic to us and the pigs. No problem.
If you do have to go out forward,
hey, Barry.
Yep.
If you do,
you know what my full first name is? It's not Gilbert.
If you do have to go out and forage, look like I observe the homeless right now. See how they dress and see what kind of gear they carry. Mimic them, so you look like you have nothing. You know, don't shave, don't wash your hair, rub dirt all over yourself. Look like you're out of a homeless camp. You know, this guy's got nothing.
Like that all over yourself. No one will come near you.
You get near the farms, though. You get near the farmers, though. If you get near the farmers, don't want to be like that. Mm-hmm. You want to be dressed like a farmer when you go to near the farms and ranches and stuff. Mm-hmm. So you blend in with them. And you say, hey, you can all go out there. Hey, I need a job, or I'm willing to work for food, to trade. We got my family over here. You know.
Well, I don't know, because I don't live in that environment. I live in the suburbs.
Yeah, exactly.
I live in the suburbs.
You got to pardon the pun. You got a gray man for the area you're at.
Exactly.
The suburbs is, I think, the place where people are really going to struggle, you know, and they're going to want to come to the country. They're going to want to come out here, you know, or they're like Bob and they just shut into their house and they don't go anywhere. You know,
wait for the bad guys to kill each other off.
Yeah. But like the living in the suburbs during that situation is where you will need a bug out bag for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You will need to get the hell out of there for sure.
Yeah. Hey, Wendy, how's it going?
Yeah, our plan is stay put as long as possible and then get out, you know.
Yeah.
But
one of the interesting things that I've talked to a lot of other people, other experts from other fields and other agencies about, you know, when I was working there doing being the emergency management coordinator. And, you know, there is a lot of studies out there done by universities and counties and states on population survivability for their areas. And depending on what happens, it can be high survival rate to 5%. And the thing is that, like, the 5%, doesn't happen the first year. That's by the end of the third year. Because you can have things, if like say the grid goes down permanently, power grid is down permanently.
Yeah.
You
And
can have major problems, and then you can have the secondary problems of disease.
Yeah, Grace and Granny, evacuate as soon as you can, have a plan. And that is for sure, especially if you live in the suburbs. And if that is the case, maybe you want to get in touch with Aunt Joe and Uncle Irma, and say, hey, you live in the country. If things go wrong, can we, make a plan to come to your house? Can we, that's when you should probably be asking.
Already done that. That.
The other thing too on that is in the pre-planning, offer to store stuff there. So you're not coming in handed. So you have stuff stored there, even if it's like a cargo trailer, and you haul it up there, and you visit them every now and then, and you bring stuff, dehydrated food stuff, and store the dehydrated food and stuff in that trailer.
Yep. So that's just little things, to think about if you live in the city. Not all cities are going to be horrible, but I'm letting you guys know right now, like every city, if you haven't paid attention to the news, which I try not to, but every city has something horribly going wrong right now. Every major city. Yeah. Like even the smaller cities. I live near a smaller city right now, and they have tent city already. Like tent city is huge there. And so those are things that you really need to look out for even right now, because just like, I can't remember, my husband was telling me about it. He's like, just the other day, like somebody stepped foot outside their house and they it was just like innocent, and they got killed. Yeah. So something to think about, because the city is not, the big cities right now are not good.
Yeah. In Tibor, I found several different sources referring to different banks on that as well. And it's a friggin' spider web of stuff as far as the bank stuff goes. But most of the sources I had were pointing to two specific banks, and the one is on its second time around. It went and recovered and got investors and came back, and now it's on a possible second time around. And they're saying 8 weeks out on that one, because that's when stuff comes due and they're not keeping up on it. That one may be a Fed takeover.
I'm kind of lucky. I've got practical experience right outside my door. Really.
That's sad, Bob. That's good, but it's sad.
I do. I've got practical experience. I'm pretty battle hardened. The whole family is. We're pretty battle hardened.
It is really sad because, back in 2006, that's when I wanted to go to Seattle. That's where I wanted to start my radio career. Houses were the housing market was booming, and the economy there was booming, and now it's so quickly as everything has changed.
Hey Barry, check your email. I sent you a video. Yeah, Barry has my email now.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, one of about five people.
It's special now.
You're just expanding this list. What the hell?
I tell you.
Bob's expanding the list slowly. He's expanding it slowly, and he's picking and choosing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What? That's one of the things that Tibor and I are talking about with the bank things. If you didn't see the video I put out earlier today, the branch closures really ramped up in 2020 because people that worked at the branches, we got to stay at home. Well, heck no, I'm going to find another job that I can work from home. And they got accounting jobs. And then when the branches tried to open up, they didn't have any people to work those branches, and a lot of branches closed down because of that.
That really sucks, Garden State Runner, because I used to really love New York City, and I've been there multiple times. I absolutely love it. And then my husband was just telling me the other day, he's like, it's like back when you used to watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Remember when it was like all grimy and like people were fighting in the streets and whatever? And you're thinking, oh, like right now, my generation doesn't know a New York City like that because it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
And it was just fiction on TV. And then now it's like, oh, it's starting to go back to that. It's pretty sad.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons out there, the side checks on the banking thing now, but a lot of reasons out there to make sure you mark where things are so that it may not be an evacuation. It may be a short term. When I say short term, as far as into the world as we know it, or poop hitting the fan, it could be like a 5-year thing. But in that 5-year thing, there could be a year or two in the middle there could be, or near the beginning, there could be no law enforcement.
Yeah. I was watching, it was a while back, I was watching this guy, I cannot remember who his name was, but he's pretty popular with Krav Maga. And he was talking about how he was getting like 3 people ready to evacuate in a horrible situation, but all 3 of them lived in the city. And the way he was doing it was absolutely fabulous. And he actually had them draw out a map and do their evacuation on TV, and they had to do it. And most of them didn't go all the way through to where they needed to go. But it was a really interesting program. I wish I remembered it, but there was, a woman and 2 guys, and then they had their backpacks, and they actually had a drill where they actually had to go through. And I think one of them was in New Jersey. And it was really fascinating how they actually tried to do their plan. It was a really, really interesting show. Hello, Corsair trainers.
Hey, Steve. Yeah, and so you really need to map out your local area, and because even in like a neighborhood, there's a bad house, right, Bob? In every neighborhood, there's a bad house. Mm-hmm. And, so it's all right. That's one we want to avoid. They can be a troublemaker if things start going south. Mm-hmm. And you need to find out which ones are or would pull together. And you mark that stuff, and you get out of your neighborhood, and you skid in the surrounding area. And, okay, where are the fast food joints? Where are the auto parts stores? Where is the urgent care? Where are the truck supplies, auto dealerships, rental stores, and just keep expanding anything that you think they might have something I need. And don't forget, I mentioned back in the beginning, don't forget city and county municipal maintenance yards. A lot of stuff there.
Also, there are a lot of urgent cares and minute clinics and stuff like that we have around here as well. And you don't have to go into a hospital to get those items. Like a minute clinic is going to have basically everything you need. It's a mini hospital. They even have vaccines. So
and they just don't do the surgeries that you schedule it, that type of stuff. So I'm having a senior brain fart here on that word. I'm trying to find.
It's okay. I can never remember the act. I do sound really uneducated because I can never find the specific word that I want to say, but I do know what I'm talking about. But
yeah.
One thing I've already done is Metzger's maps. Buy Metzger's maps of your area. Metzger's, M-E-T, I don't know how you spell it, but I've got some of them in my area in an ammo belt with a compass and all that stuff. And you have to commit a lot of stuff to your memory. You have to go drive around and observe all over around your place. You commit things to your memory. And Metzger's maps, I only got those because if we have to meet somewhere, okay, now I've got a 3D map that shows the elevation of all the hills, and I write on there what different location what things are on those maps, fold them up and put them away.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Steve. And no, I don't think we have even tapped into that, but yeah, dentist's office and veterinarians also have stuff. But that, I mean, if you go to a vet office, you're running into a risk of getting, I mean, of course they're going to have gauze and stuff like that, but if you're actually looking for medicine, you would have to know what you're looking for in order to, but yeah.
Hang on, so I'm doing some quick research here. METZ.
Hi, Howie. Hi, Mary Beth.
METSKER, Metzger Maps.
Metzger's Maps of Seattle.
Thanks.
Yeah, they sell booklets that have got maps in a book. You can even buy those in secondhand stores sometimes.
Yeah. There's that one. But then I also Googled up here map publishers. And they got London, United Kingdom, National Geographic, Rough Guides, London. Okay. They got a bunch of different ones, but yeah, there's more Wise Maps, Digital Map Store. So there's different ones you can get for your area. And yeah, I'm still trying. I'm still researching on my own to find out which of these digital ones that I can use my tablet to get real time satellite photos from, and whether it's going to be worth it.
And all these things we were talking about are things that it's only specifically for your area too. Like my plan is going to be obviously different from your plan.
Yeah.
So just have a plan. And know what you're doing. And, and sometimes if you, want to test it out, go for that car ride, go, grab your bug out bag. I know I used to live in the city, so I was always terrified. I lived in a city and I worked 45 minutes away almost from where I lived. And I knew if SHTF happened, I would be kind of screwed because my only way to back and forth to work was the expressway. So, I would have to either depend on somebody coming getting me, or something like that, or leave or have a bag in my car, but the expressway, you've got to think, is that going to be your easy way out? Hell no. People everywhere, so that's one thing that used to terrify me. If something were to happen, I wouldn't be able to leave my work. And, so, those are things that you have to think about, Yeah.
What Howie said here on, let me bring it, there it is again. How to stash away from your main base. The simple ways of doing that, it's also called geocaching, where you use GPS to find a specific thing somewhere, and that's where having the maps of the plot maps, knowing who owns what properties and what is county property, state property, city property, because you're going to have a little bit easier time stashing something on public property than you are on private property.
Yeah.
And you bury something, you have it marked exactly where it is, but don't rely only on GPS for that.
My county has a giant book and they sell it. It's like this thick, and it is a map of every county, or every county. No.
In Ohio?
City, I guess. Township. Every township in the county. I'm sorry, trying to find my words. Yeah. And it has who owned what since like the 1800s. It's a huge book and of my county. And it comes in really handy, and it shows old houses and stuff like that in it. So I have one of those books, and I think every county has one. It's like a huge book. Hold on, I have it on my shelf.
Yeah, what's neat here in Idaho, they don't print them out, but anybody can go to the county or state websites and find the plot maps, and you can see exactly who has what where and everything else.
You know, there's another thing you can do. You do without.
Mm-hmm.
Get used to it.
Yeah.
Get used to not having conveniences, and you've got to be able to improvise on your feet. That's just stuff that people don't forget about. You mean I can't have my iPad and my but no, dude, you should learn how to do without. Just leave it
old school mountain man.
Yeah, it's like I got paper maps, you know.
And I mean, it's like I still have, of course, I'm now in Idaho, but I have all the topographical maps, the quadrant maps. These things are about 20 to 30 inches wide of areas in California, all the way from my house up to any place we went hunting. And also all the San Francisco Bay Area, everything around Contra Costa County, Alameda County, because there was a lot of stuff there, and now I got to redo everything for up here. Yeah, you got to be flexible. You got to be a Gumby.
And I've said on a few videos, I recommend you select some good hunting boots, not hiking boots, not work boots, hunting boots. They've got a good soft sole on them, and they don't make very much noise when you walk on concrete or rocks or anything. They're very soft. They're lightweight too. And Gore-Tex are insulated. Rocky makes some good boots. So does
Rocky Stalkers.
Yep, and Danner makes some very good ones too.
Unfortunately, Danners don't make them wide enough for me. I tried to find some Danners; they were too narrow.
It's a huge, and it doesn't fit on the bookshelf, so it's probably not there. But I can't find it right now. But anyway, it's a huge book, and it talks about all the old properties in the county. It's also a historical book as well, but it was handed down to me from my grandmother, and it's huge. And I look through it quite often, actually, and I don't know where it is right now, but. Yeah, it has like all the county roads in it, all the old farm properties and their names. It has it's a huge book. It's really cool.
I can't really foresee everything going completely to shit. I just can't, well, we went through a lot of stuff here 2 years ago, and it didn't all just fall apart.
Yeah, I think some people take it a little too far. I don't think things are going to go extreme, but I mean, during the Great Depression, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So you just have to be prepared. Like people are just going to.
Some areas are going to be worse off than others.
Yeah, people are going to be more wild. People are going to just and you know what? It is kind of like that now. People don't give a crap about anybody but themselves. And
lots of those. God.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And Shadow Scout Sweet is in the house as well.
Hey,
hello, Shadow.
All right. So let me share this. Bring this up here. So I just did my search was for my county, Bingham County property search, and here it came up: GIS mapping. And mapping. So I can go in here, pick an area if it's going to do the my parcel mapping. What we got here? Yeah, parcel mapping. It's cool. I can get in here. I agree. Yep. I've been here so many times. It's not funny. Basalt. All right. So I own this one here, 654. I own 655. And I don't know why they actually have it divided 4 ways on some of the maps, but I own that. And then the guy behind me owns this property here in this little triangle here next to my pig pen. And the back half here is an acre, which the guy before me was trying to buy from him. And so I can find out all the different size properties around here. Now, some of these got kind of small here and stuff, and the city passed an ordinance that no more properties can be less than a half acre. You can't divide anything to less than a half acre without getting a variance from the city.
Yeah, Tigor, that's kind of how I look at it, is the return of the Great Depression, but it's going to be worse because now there's a lot more technology. There's
a hell of a lot more people.
And more people, but you know, you're going to get your average person that can't live without their cell phone, their internet, and their Starbucks every day. You know, I'm serious. You're going to have those people that are that can't live without their things.
Yeah.
You know, and it's going to be worse.
Steve, you got your leather shorts already. Wow.
Yeah.
So wow.
Yeah. He also has his assless chaps too.
I don't want a visual of that. I don't want a visual.
Okay. Here I just clicked. All right. So basically, what I did here, all right. So here's mine here. I look out over here. This property here is it used to be Idaho Supreme Potatoes. They were changed names now. Storemaster Funding LLC, something or other LLC, 2020 LLC. And so you know, it's under a different name. This one here. Oh, it's me and my wife. Oh, cool. Oh, this one's under just my wife's name because there's stupid law here. But yeah, it's, you know, you can look up different things. There's my buddy Curtis, and so you can look up anybody's property that quick to see who owns it. And so this here should be, yeah, Daryl, and then this here is the oh. He has it in his wife's name. Yeah, she's on the city council now. He was, and he's a school teacher. But you know,
what map service is that, Gil?
All right, this is through the county, and it's called GIS. And
GIS maps.
GIS mapping, yeah. And so let me back out of it here. So see, Bingham County and welcome to interactive GIS mapping.
Okay. And
every county here has it. And you can do parcel mapping, you can do voting mapping, you can do survey records. And it's free. And so you can take your paper map and update it with information off these maps.
Interesting.
I got it. I'm on it. Bookmark.
So the point of everything that we're talking about basically is to map out your location, figure out where things are, figure out where that chemical plant is that you
don't want to go near.
You want to go near, you know, figure out your methods, and don't consider stealing as your, I'm not gonna prep. I'm just gonna take everything. Well, that is a one-way ticket to death. I'm like, just an FYI. So if you plan on just doing that, well, you're not going to live long.
Yeah. And especially around farmers and ranchers, because ranchers have long-range rifles. They hunt predators to protect their cattle and their sheep.
And one of the first things I always look for is sources of running water. That's one of the primary things I look for, you know, is running water. If you got running water, I can take care of it and get it to work, you know. Okay, yeah, I got that page bookmarked for my area. Cool. All right.
Yeah. So I mean, because a lot of them, you know, like Courtney was lucky; she was able to buy a book. I bet they've stopped printing the book and they're going to the GIS. Sure. They're going to the GIS.
Yeah. Oh, he froze. Yeah. That book was, I don't know how long ago it was published. I was just lucky enough to have it given to me. But yeah. It's old.
Oh, so I was looking at the side chat what Brenda said here, toilet paper has gone outrageous. Made me think of something. Walmart, your local Walmart behind it has what? A bunch of cargo containers stocked and loaded for seasonal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot easier to get into a cargo container than it is the store.
Yeah. But honestly,
Harbor Freight has cargo containers behind it with stuff.
Not that I would love to pass that up, but what's really going to be in there? Like some toys for Christmas? Is that really going to help you in your survival moments? I need to break into this container. It's somebody's layaway.
And I also know where some industrial bakeries are at for making bread. I know where. Well, example is one is a Mission Macaroni. I know where their warehouse is at. I mean.
Good night, Glenn.
Night, Glenn.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll just resort to necrophiliac cannibalism.
Never too old to play with Hot Wheels or Barbies. Thank you.
All right. Bob and Steve are going for the cannibalism stuff.
Yeah, we're going for the Road Warrior stuff, man. Two men enter, one man leaves. Yeah.
The other one's cooked up.
I always wanted to get Chingus disease in a SHTF situation.
Oh,
sounds like a great time.
Good times, yeah.
Yeah. And,
schools are going to have, that's another thing too. You wouldn't think of it, but schools are going to have first aid equipment and little things here and there. However, most schools don't make their food there anymore.
No, I know where a central kitchen is.
And pudding, and you're not going to have canned corn and stuff like that there anymore.
Thunderdome. Two men enter, one man leaves.
Hey, Steve, God. I emailed you the link.
Produce, but you can take enough for yourself. That's what they're referring to.
Yeah, and I know Steve, having been an active duty Marine, he's now an inactive duty Marine, and working with the federal prison system and stuff like that. He probably knows a lot of stuff that he's not going to share with us because he's keeping it for himself. And I don't blame him, but there's some stuff that I bet he could share.
A lot of this stuff that I am talking about is super extreme.
Yeah.
Right now, what you want to do is, what does the government require right now, Gil? How much do you pack for what? What is the requirements? It
changes because you got idiots up there who are kowtown to the political professionals and lowering the stuff down. We got it up to 30 days. Before I left, I got it up to 30 days of food and water.
There you go.
And I had to fight for that several times because somebody way up there who was sucking the hind titty of a politician kept saying, "Oh no, we only want to have 10 days at the most. 3 days is what we really wanted to have." And others were going, "No, hell no. We learned in both Rita and Katrina that don't fly."
Yeah. I only have Cheetos and handy wipes. That's all I have.
Okay, so it's
Cheetos and handy wipes.
30 days, and you don't trust the government, right? So it's 30 days, add probably 3 months. You need to have 3 months of food in your house, right? Mm-hmm. Don't go by that 30 days. You can have 30 days of food in your home. That's great.
Yeah.
I would never just have 30 days of food in my home. Just
no.
Yeah.
The memo that came out for Homeland Security personnel, 6 months.
There you go. See, and
that was also squashed. As far as going public.
Hey, WD, it changes for everybody, but don't trust specifically 30 days. You can stockpile more, and if you're going to stockpile, make sure it's items like canned goods, and stuff like that.
Canned goods that you eat every day.
Yes,
exactly. Food that you eat every day.
You don't want to do sardines and olives and all that crap. Like, oh yeah, when SHTF, all I'm going to eat is sardines and olives and I'm going to survive. And seriously, a day in, you're going to be like, I can't believe I got this shit. Like, what the hell was I thinking? You want your.
I must have got high. I must have got high. I must have got high. It's just food storage, all of Lucky Charms and milk. You know, man. Hey, dude. Yeah.
You want your Chef Boyardee. You want your Campbell soups. You want.
Yeah.
You want those little things, brownies that you put in the microwave that make you feel good, you know, that kind of thing. You don't want sardines. You don't want, you know, that kind of stuff. Oh, this canned fish. Oh, you know, I know.
Oh, I got lots of canned fish, man.
Oh, I got lots of canned tuna.
It depends on your taste. But I don't want canned fish.
It's a Filipino style. It's not like I've got some of the regular sardines that we have here in the States, but I got Filipino style canned fish. Delicious, absolutely delicious. That's
there you
saltine.
Go,
All right, here's what one thing goes. Taking off what Courtney was saying here. All right, besides the canned foods, dry goods. Dry goods store a long time. Some dry goods will store a long time.
Yep.
Certain canned goods like Spam. What do they got? A 7-year shelf life on them. Yeah. But then there's some things like you can get, and hey, get yourself a pressure canner. It doesn't got to be a big one, and you can do like the Tammy at Rebel Canners and Martha Old School Prepper saying, get the pints and the half pint jars, and do little meals in those. Meatloaf, breakfast sausages. Can it. Once you can it, that stuff's good for years and years and years because it's not in a metal can that has that plastic crap sprayed on the inside that's going to break down.
Yeah. So
glass is good.
And like Bob said, you want to just pack those foods that make you feel good. You want macaroni and cheese. You want the stuff that's going to make you feel good. But, you know, don't forget also that if you're in that kind of situation to also maybe think about some healthier options as well. Maybe some canned vegetables, you know, not just beanies and weenies.
Yeah.
Instant coffee. I've got that. You know, I got
tons of hot chocolate and hot apple cider.
Stuff to make you feel better in that kind of situation. Because if you're really burning energy during the day and at night, you just like you want a good meal. Just think about that hot apple cider or that hot chocolate that you're going to have, or, you know what I'm saying?
With marshmallows in that hot chocolate, mini marshmallows.
Your mental state is just as important as your physical state.
Barry, did you check your email yet? You better check your email. I sent you an awesome video.
Oh, boy.
Well, he hasn't been commenting lately, so maybe he's watching the video.
Is he still here? No, I think he bounced. Okay.
Yeah, because like say for instance you're in a situation where you don't have water and you're forced to boil some water that smells like shit, basically. Like nothing would be better than to put in one of those little packets of whatever to just make your water taste just a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was military trick there. Coffee is always available for the military because you go to another country and their water tastes weird.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why we always had coffee.
Apparently, Barry was pooping. So.
Oh, yeah. Barry, check your email. I sent you an awesome video, man.
He said he replied to it.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No,
Steve, not Kool-Aid, Flavor-Aid. Flavor-Aid is what, you know where.
I was actually thinking about Kool-Aid today because my son just drinks me out of house and home and eats me out of house and home. Like, I was just thinking about getting some Kool-Aid and watering it down. like they used to do for us. So we used to go to Bible school, and then for lunch we would have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and watered down Kool-Aid.
All right, I'm going to tag on to Mary Beth's statement here. Honey never goes bad, and you want to get local honey that has made from local pollen and stuff.
Yes. All the rest of the honey that's out there, unless it says real raw honey, it's just sugar. And it doesn't have any health benefits.
Yeah. Now we got a great store here called Cox Honey, and they actually sell to Sam's Club, big time. And they just moved into their new bigger facility up here in Shelley, 4.5 miles up the road from my house. Yes, I tracked it. So that's something else I got marked on my map is Cox Honey.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make coffee old school, Tibor. Like you guys can do it old school if you don't want instant. He said he'd rather die than drink instant coffee. But okay.
Just get a stainless percolator and build a fire.
I don't want instant coffee.
Yeah, I also got quite a bit of pancake mix too. You can substitute that as bread. And
I have Bisquick like you wouldn't believe. I have 3 huge family size boxes of Bisquick right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Biscuits. You can make all those. They have like cheeseburger pie, taco pie. You can bread chicken in it. I made biscuits and gravy the other day and pancakes and all that stuff. That Bisquick is the bomb.
And you can freeze it too.
Put some honey on top of there and, give you an energy boost. Yeah, it's good stuff.
And I don't know about y'all, but a good pancake makes me feel great.
And
you're a cheap date. You are a cheap date. Take you to the Waffle House and hey.
Yes. For my oldest son loves waffles, and he'll sit there for like an hour with the waffle iron, just making waffles, and then he tosses it all in the refrigerator, cools it out, and then freezes them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Then for the next week, he'll get up, come out, pull a couple out of the freezer, toss it, drop it in the toaster, and make himself breakfast real quick.
Which reminds me, do you guys know if Lodge has a waffle maker? Did they have a cast iron one? Because I
got it for him. It's a small one. It's a single one. It's about this big. It's a single square, and it's for doing over campfire. It's a 2-part.
That's what I need.
You put it in, you turn it out. Yeah,
I'd love to do that. See, and it almost makes an SHTF a situation seem kind of fun. You're just camping with the family, right?
Yeah. Camping to the extreme.
Through my own practical experience back in 2 years ago when all the stuff was going on in Seattle, Tacoma, and the whole area, it's worth the time to put away some food, because now the wife and my son had to go to work. They're healthcare workers, but they're armed with a get-home bag. And I didn't have to leave this house for any reason. I stayed right here with my daughter. I didn't have to go out for any reason. And
that's good.
I had my friend Mossberg and Smith and Wesson with me. So, they were my companions and my constant buddies.
I do have stuff that I'm prepared with, though. I do have to say, the night that Donald Trump made his speech about the Red Dragon and everything was going south, at that moment, I did hit the store. I went that night. It was midnight. Me and my husband went. We filled up 2 carts. I had almost 4 months of food just alone. Yes, Cheetos and and baby wipes. I just thought that.
For those of you who don't know what the joke is, that's a joke from
Steve's channel.
From Corsair Trainers, Monday Morning Chat, the Island of Misfit Toys.
The people who actually accomplished nothing.
And I was really surprised at what people were actually putting in their carts. I was really surprised. It was.
What were you seeing?
To me, Trump making that that speech said in my head, holy crap, I better get my shit together and at least have enough food in my house to make it, right? In case I don't want to keep going to the store and picking up whatever, any bacteria or anything. I was afraid of getting sick. So, people were packing freaking hot dogs and cheesecake and just stuff I wouldn't even thought. I put noodles and canned goods and
there you go
that in my cart. And I packed, oh my gosh, I still have flour. I was making bread because I didn't want to have to keep going to the store to buy a loaf of bread. And my husband would go in the mornings. That's another thing, is they cut off, I don't think people remember this, but they cut off the times of when you could go to the store. So, only early in the mornings, old people could go. So that left people like me, like, oh my God, like when can I go to the store? And most people work, right? So, my husband would go, and when he'd get off work in the morning, he'd get a gallon of milk, and then he'd come home. That's the only thing that we ever really needed was milk, because my son needed it, but for the most part,
I got to correct something, misinformation we gave out. Lodge themselves does not have the waffle maker.
I didn't think so, because I looked for it and I didn't see it.
I'm trying. Let me see if I can find one, because I know I bought one for my son. I think I got it off of Amazon. So let me check and see what that was.
What a great place was to raid during the pandemic was the freaking Dollar General. That was the best place to raid. They had anything and everything, and nobody was in there. And they had toilet paper. I was starting to believe, and the toilet paper thing was just complete stupidity, right? But the bigger stores like Walmart, and we have Giant Eagle around here, which is a huge grocery store, they did not have TP. But then you go to the smaller places like Dollar General and the dollar store, and they had TP.
It
was crazy.
Courtney?
Yeah.
Lehman's cast iron waffle maker.
I didn't see that there. Oh,
$37.
I might have to get that, because that's cool.
I've been overseas where toilet paper is a luxury, and I learned how to clean my butt with soap and water. Yeah, I didn't even need toilet paper.
You ever watch that show Extreme Cheapskates, where they don't use toilet paper? Those people, they just use like rags, and then they put them in a bleach bucket.
Yeah, the family rag.
I have considered.
All right, there you go. That's how you do it. And you have two burners where you heat both sides up when it's open. That you heat it both sides up, and you put it on there, and you cook it for a while. You turn it over and keep it going.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I love waffles. And you don't have to make them sweet either. You could make a sandwich out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She lost it, Steve. Oh my God. No toilet paper.
Yeah. I would newe flip out over TP. I'm sorry. If you didn't have TP, which I always did, because why? Because we buy in bulk all the time. My neighbors even posted, we never have to worry about TP ever again. We shop at Sam's Club. There's huge things of TP there. But we never had to worry about that. And I would have never fought over it. I mean, I would have used paper towels or something else. It's okay.
Yeah, I was on Facebook during all these times, and the Filipinos were laughing at us Americans, how soft we are. You people need toilet paper? Come on, we didn't have it.
Yeah.
We know
there's places in India they don't use toilet paper at all for anything.
Yeah, it's the same over there. A lot of people cannot afford it, so they use soap and water. Yeah, I've done it myself many times, and I'm still alive. Yeah.
If you don't feel you're clean, you just jump in the shower. It'll be okay.
Mm-hmm. You don't even have to jump in the shower. You just get yourself one of those 2-gallon sprayers and pour some lukewarm water in there, pump it up a few times and wash yourself off. It's called a manual bidet.
It's even easier is just having a bucket of clean water next to you and some kind of a ladle. You just put the seat up, you squat your butt over the toilet bowl, pour it down the crack of your butt, scrub it, pour it more clean water down the crack of your butt, reach over, grab a bar of soap, wash your hands, rinse your hands off, rinse your butt off. That's it. And use paper to dry with.
Would you mind doing a class on that, Bob?
I could, but I'm pretty sure someone would flag that video. You know,
no, it'd be a members only.
Yeah, just wash your hands, wash your butt crack with soap, then rinse off, and you're done. That's it.
Now, what's along the lines? Martha Old School Prepper, they have a manual add-on bidet for the regular toilet, and it's a hand pump sprayer. They put a little plunge down, and it sprays, and clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. See, so the best thing to do is to panic. But also just remind yourself every time you go to the store, put a little bit of canned goods aside here and there. And, and I can everything from the garden. So I have, canned goods, but, just make sure you put a little bit aside every time you go grocery shopping, or, if your son really likes Pop-Tarts, put a thing of Pop-Tarts aside every time or something like that,
Well,
and
I went to the market a couple days ago and I didn't need it, but I saw they had some of my favorite flavor of Spam, and I grabbed 2 more cans.
All right.
All
right, guys.
Good.
Here's your little bidets on the side. Everything else set up here.
Skin of my enemies.
Little sprayer thing and everything else. Or you get the cheap one here.
Oh, I love a good ass squirter.
Just use a coffee cup or something, and just clean water, soap up, wash it, rinse it off, wash your hands.
All you're buying is this plug because you use your used water bottles. Mm-hmm. You fill one up, slap that sucker in, and give it a squirt.
Yeah, Steve, I'd recommend not scalp them first and use the hair to remove the big particles, and then use the other human skin to finish off. It's simple.
There you go, and you don't get Chingus disease.
Chingus. Can you imagine that if it really went all to hell, and all of a sudden, like, your wife starts palsying, and what's wrong with Mom? I think she's got Chingus disease. She must have eaten one of her relatives. Oh God, that would be a hell of a day, wouldn't it?
Thanks, Auslander.
Hey, Auslander. Okay. All right. Now, I was doing some calculating earlier today, and let me hit the refresh button here. So this channel is 207 away from being monetized. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to do like I did with Camp Patton. I'm going to have a giveaway with some big stuff on it, and the winners are going to be whoever can bring the most subscribers in. And I'll get the rules out for that here in the next month or so. But yeah. But one of the things, I've already had the grand prize donated by Doc Bones and Nurse Amy. The color version of the 4th edition medical survival handbook, that big thick one that sells for $79. So that's going to be the first place prize on it. So.
That's just why I do have to say, let's face it though, the average person that gets sick during a situation like that, if it's that extreme, you're going to die. I hate to say it, but you are. You're going to die. You have something majorly going wrong with you. You got shot. You chopped your leg off with an axe. Yeah. You're going to die. Yeah,
that's pretty much what the
next door neighbor is a surgeon and a nurse.
Yeah,
then you might have a chance.
Pretty much what my wife told me about that too. She said, she set up a medic kit for us, and you plug the wound and get him to the hospital. What if we can't get to the hospital?
Exactly.
Then they die.
Yeah, you're going to die. Infection is going to kill you.
I've seen a guy get hit with an M16. The shock wave that goes through your body, unless you've got a medic there who is experiencing trauma,
right,
and a MASH unit nearby.
Yeah, which let's face it, like 90% of the people out there are not going to have that type of situation. Are not going to have somebody that's lucky enough to be a doctor or a nurse next to them. So so when you're in that situation, be smart. Try not to overexert yourself. Try not to chop your fingers off if you're cutting firewood or whatever. Be smart.
You gotta be a lot more
sepsis. That's right.
Safety.
Sepsis. Yep.
Yes. And that will kill you. That will kill you. You will die in like a couple days. That'll be it. See you later.
Yeah.
Steve.
But I'm going to run out there right into the line of fire. I'll teach them all a lesson. I'll stand on the end of my block with my BDUs on my AR, to see how long you last. I mean, honestly.
Now, guys, those that haven't been to Steve's channel, he pokes fun at people. That's why he's putting that there. He pokes fun at the guys that say this for real, that are serious about it. Steve's not serious about it. But he knows that he pokes fun at the guys that are, how does he put it? I'm tactical, or I got everything that's high speed, low drag.
Yeah. Those are the people who've never seen anybody get shot. They've never been in martial law. They've never been in a civil war. They've never been in a really, really dangerous situation. They're all full of can I say bullshit?
Yeah. Do a little more research into the Civil War as well. Those people died when they chopped off their legs to avoid gangrene, but they still died.
Because they didn't know about washing their hands.
Yes. They did it in a field. They did it in a field, in a tent somewhere, and they're just okay, you have a little wound, chop, see you later, just so you could avoid gangrene. So
and it's there's look into there are some historical novels. And when I say novels, they're fiction, but everything in it is historically accurate on the way things did. And you'll get shaken to your core.
Well, if you look at it this way, go watch some documentaries about World War II. You see soldiers and Marines run into a battle and be carried out. There's a reason for that, because if you get shot, you're down. I mean, that's it. And the hydrostatic shock wave that goes through your body is just wow, man.
Yeah, I mean, you get shot your body, like your organs and stuff, everything gets shooken up.
Everything gets bruised.
Yep.
And what is a bruise? Bleeding.
It's a bleed.
Yep.
And no, they didn't have TP. They had Sears catalogs at one point, but all we have now are Kindles.
Hang on, I gotta go wipe my butt.
That's for me, man. I've seen stuff here and overseas, and I'm not going to go get right in the middle of things. I'm going to try to stay back.
Stay away from people as much as possible.
You
have your little family. Protect your little family. Do not trust anybody outside. Do not trust anybody. Why? Because they want your food. They want to kill you. They want to rape you. I mean, there's just horrible things that can happen. So just protect your family and grandma and grandpa, whatever. Protect your little family, and that's it. Don't trust anybody.
I got to laugh at these guys who say, I've got these gift bags for people who need food. You're a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
I'm not trading it with anybody. Nobody has to know nothing.
I will. No, wife told me from practical experience: do not let anybody in your house for any reason. Maybe blood relatives. That's it.
That's
Because
a time where you need to be selfish.
Oh, yeah, big time. They'll kill you to get it. There might be a good neighbor, gosh, and 3 days later he's looking at your wife or your teenage daughter. Guess what he's going to do to get to your woman? He's going to kill you. He's going to smash your head in just to get to your woman. Yeah, people are monsters, man.
Yes, they are. And you got to think of the worst, and that's exactly what it is. When people are starving, when there's no law, people will do anything.
And once they start going down that road, it's like the slippery slope. They're going to go down that road faster and faster as they go down it and start doing more depraved stuff.
Example is
that without PP. They're nuts.
That example is that freak that stalks me. He's insane. How many other people out there are even worse than him? Are you going to let somebody like that? I've got a gift bag of food for you. You're a freaking moron, man. Don't open the door. Don't open the door for anybody. Don't let anybody in your house for any reason.
People say, cigarettes, whiskey, all of that stuff is good to trade. I wouldn't be trading with anybody. Save that stuff for yourself. Because
all right, Steve's doing it again.
I wouldn't trade with anybody. You don't want to have contact with anybody.
Ignore the plastic on the ground. You
don't even want to try to save anybody unless it's a seriously desperate situation. Because, somebody can act like they're wounded, and then before you know it, your entire house is taken over by freaking morons.
Yeah.
Like I said, always say, plan ahead. Know who the doctors are. On your map, if you know where a doctors live, start marking out doctors, nurses, dentists. Yeah.
And a word of warning: if you know who I am and you know where I live, if you wake up on a sheet of plastic and I've got a coconut bra on and I'm sharpening a butcher's knife, it's pretty much your last day, and I'm going to eat well. Oh, wait. Hey.
Oh, Brenda,
I remember you.
Very good point, Brenda.
I would say use your own judgment.
I won't. I've had that happen here. I've had it happen here.
In Tibor as well. Like, I have the biggest heart, and I so would love to help everybody. But in that situation, and you just can't. You just can't.
Because they got their buddies waiting for them outside. That's how they do home invasions.
They're all standing right around the corner out of sight.
Yeah. People are desperate in a situation like that. And I can't trust it. I got more than just me. I got my entire family. You know what I mean?
Right. Dexter Bob.
How do you mean you'll help them, Steve?
Probably if he can, he's going to put him to work. And out here, because I'm surrounded by farmland and ranchers and farmers and stuff. And the thing is, if someone comes up with a family, so you got a husband, wife, and 3 or 4 kids, and there ain't nobody around, they may put them to work. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry,
But they're going to keep an eye on them too.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it goes. And it's not anything personal, but it's my family and it's my son, and I would do anything to protect him. So that's the way that goes.
I would have a party down in my basement with a big sheet of plastic and a butcher knife. I'd have a party.
For those that don't know, Bob jokes about this a lot.
I half-heartedly mean that, but I maybe I mean it, maybe I don't.
Don't mess with his family.
Yep. You come in my house, man, it's going to be a bad day. But Oh, well.
Tibor, if it was something that we previously arranged and you needed to come here and we knew that you were coming here during an SHTF situation, that's something different. But if it's after that, I can't help you. Sorry.
Yeah, I've seen starving kids too.
Yeah, and that's going to pull at people's heartstrings. And then unfortunately, what that's going to do is get them in big trouble. So, yeah. You just got to worry about your own.
And, Steve's comment here goes along with something I said before about, get to know who, you mark your map, who are the good neighbors, who are the bad neighbors. And he says, if the guy's one of the good neighbors, not that piece of shit down there that you want to move out now in the good times, you might be set some things up to, and that's the thing. If you want to get your good neighbors to start working on preparedness now. So one of the things I've always said about my preparedness stuff and my teaching preparedness is because I'm selfish. Yeah. I want everyone else prepared so they don't come after my stuff.
And, I hate to even put that out there that I would be selfish in that situation. It makes me feel like a horrible person. But I think about my son, and there's nothing that would stop me. Like, no way. Nobody would. I wouldn't trade with anybody. I wouldn't want anybody on my property. I wouldn't even want anybody knocking on my door.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons my wife and I picked this town. There are 4 ways in. Just about everyone in the town is like-minded. And I've heard them talking about, okay, something happens, we're blocking off the streets. Yeah. And we are now one big family. And if we have to, we will kick somebody out of the family.
Yeah.
Well, Tibor, you have a really big heart, and I understand that. That's great. That doesn't work for me. I can't.
Yeah, I've seen starvation. I'm used to it. I know what it looks like. I know what it smells like. Yeah. Bye.
All right, folks, we have hit 2 hours. Wow.
I know. This is crazy. This is like the longest tactical Tuesday ever.
Yeah, I haven't done this in a couple years.
Wednesday. It's turning into Tactical Wednesday.
It's turning into the midnight ride. All right, so let's just check some stuff out here. So tomorrow is Wednesday. That's Laura at Hidden Valley Homestead. Not Hidden Valley, sorry. Laura at Hedgehog's Homestead. And she's got the interview in the afternoon and the later one in the evening.
I don't know if she's still doing it this week.
Okay.
Because she got in the truck with her husband and they're driving around. So.
Oh, she's co-piloting.
Yep, with Norman.
Okay. So they may not be doing it this week. Thursday night at 11:55 Eastern, which is right now. I'll be going live with the Midnight Ride, and that usually runs 2-3 hours, and it's open chat for whatever you guys want to talk about out there. And and the longer it runs, it's because everyone's talking and we having a good time carrying on stuff.
This was a really good topic. I enjoyed it. So hope you guys
Friday at Froze 12 o'clock Eastern time. Courtney goes live with the blue ribbon canning, the can whatever, with Rebels canners.
With the Rebel. By the way, I don't know if she'll be attending. I don't know. I hope she will. It's been a couple weeks. She had been sick, and then we did the Food Independent show, and so hopefully she'll be attending, and we can talk about canning.
I wanted to make it clear that I say that I'll ignore hunger and starvation. I've taken this from advice from people who've already lived through it.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Then they told me straight out, don't let anybody in your house for any reason.
Yeah. And I think the situations that your loved ones had been in is more relatable. I mean, some people can go extreme and say it's a zombie apocalypse, and that's not relatable. However,
not even close.
What your relatives have been through, that is relatable, and that could very well happen here. So that
Yeah, the best thing you can really do, honestly, and truth and reality, is if you're out on the road, get to some place like the fire department, the police department, National Guard station, some place where there's armed guards to protect you and to protect what you've brought with you.
Yeah.
Period. You know.
All right. So Saturday. Oh, wait, Friday. Friday. I'm up in the air on this one, whether or not I'm going to do the pre-party from 10 o'clock Eastern to 11, and then Fishes will be doing the Friday from 11:30 to whenever. And then Sunday, Courtney, you have Sunday evening.
Yep, Sunday at 11. And FYI, I try to share everybody out on my community page. If you just follow that, you'll know where I am. You'll know where everybody is that night as well. So if it's like, oh my God, it's Friday night, I don't know what to do. It's YouTube. You can go on my page. I share everybody out as well. So you know where we're at, what we're doing and stuff like that. And it's usually the same group of people. Every once in a while we get a rogue person, but it's usually the same group of people and we have a lot of fun. So
yeah. And then on Monday, next Monday, on my other channel, Camp Patton Family Compound, since who knows what next Monday is, what holiday?
I don't know. Should I look it up?
In 1492.
Oh, Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Yep.
It's Columbus.
So it's going to be Columbus Day. We're going to talk a little twisted history.
Actually, it's Indigenous People Day. I'm just letting you know.
Well, it depends who's changing it. But well, actually, it's Leif Erikson, the Viking Day.
Oh, it's Viking Day as well. Look at that.
So, anyways, we're going to talk twisted history. And then next Tuesday here is we're going to be talking about creating a prepper group. Not joining a prepper group, creating one of your own. So that's what we're going to talk about here next week. And Monday after mine, so I do from 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern time, and then Courtney comes on at 10 o'clock Eastern for Media Monday.
Yep.
And I forgot Monday morning at 9 Pacific time. Figure it out from there. Corsair Trainers has the Island of Misfit Toys, the Monday morning coffee chat.
And I try to make it over there every once in a while. Most of the time I am not up yet, so I'm sorry, Steve. But
yeah, for the next several weeks, I've got 3 grandkids I got to take to their speech therapy, which starts here just about the time he's actually a half hour before he starts his. So I am not even going to be in town, unfortunately, for the next several Mondays.
Okay, where to begin? Cool. Yeah, and if I see you, since you're a pooper, if I see you, I will share you out as well. I try to share everybody out and let them be known. So. And
that's Eastern time, right? 9 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah. She's in Kentucky, so yeah.
Well, half of the Kentucky's in Central.
I know. I used to live in that. Used to live in Hopkinsville, and it was always an hour behind. And that's how Laura is. And it just was so confusing. It was just only by an hour, but it was confusing.
Hey, Keith. We got Keith Kronk in the house, too.
Yeah, Keith.
He's been lurking. All right. So that's what's coming up here. So basically, any parting words here?
Just be safe, be smart, and and I know everybody has a really good heart. Just be safe and be smart about your things. Make sure you are prepping more than 30 days of food. Don't trust the government as far as that's concerned. And
because FEMA don't have any money. They've the demon rats have already raided their coffer and diverted it.
Well, why does that not surprise me?
Yeah. Oh. Okay. So Medicap Warning is a banking system collapse in a minute. Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about this morning when I did that video.
I actually have to get going. I hear my son acting wild.
Yep.
So thank you guys. And thank you for having me on. And I'll see y'all later. Bye, Bob.
All right.
Later.
All right. So everyone out there, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. You can always make it better. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps: water, food, medicines, and skills. Because if things fall apart and you have a lot of skills, you can trade your skills for food. All righty. Take care, and I'll see you Thursday night for the Midnight Ride.